Do I really have to give an intro? I've already made countdowns for 2 other Mario Party installments, 2 and 8, and today, I'm doing the same for Mario Party 9. This is quite a fun video game, for a lot of reasons, the biggest one being the whole lot of very fun minigames. And I'm sure you already know this, but today, I'm counting down my top 10 favorite Mario Party 9 minigames. Keep in mind that concept does still matter for my choices, and it's just my opinion and no one else's. I'm speaking only for myself, duh. Alright, nuts to this intro, let's party! Kicking off this list is free-for-all Thwomper Room. Each player is in a room with 6 thwomps floating above them. These thwomps will keep crashing into the ground, and any player to touch one is eliminated, while any player still standing when time expires wins. Before a thwomp falls, he'll open his eyes and mouth, signaling players to get the hell out of the way. Players can not only run, but also jump, if an opponent's in their way. This minigame is fun and thrilling, with a not only epic, but original concept. Sorry, that's all I can really say for this minigame. Thwomper Room has ample room for 10th place. Almost as much as I have for a time-killing epilogue. Ninth place is Boss Battle Deck Dry Bones. Each turn, several cards with colored shapes will be shown, and the players must memorize where at least one of each shape is. Before they get turned over, then pick one that matches the platform Dry Bones lands on. Doing so gives players points, while failing to do so gives no points. Unless they pick a Dry Bones card, which actually takes points. The player with the most points when Dry Bones runs out of health is the winner. However, this is a boss battle, so there's a bit more to it. When Dry Bones' health is halved, he'll get pissed off and start shuffling the cards, making it a bit harder for players to memorize them. Well, that's pretty much all, actually. This minigame is thrilling and memory testing, and that's something I love seeing in Mario Party minigames. Also, the concept is clever. Deck Dry Bones shuffles the deck so nobody can find 9th place. Sorry, 2 boss battles in a row. 8th place is Bowser's Block Battle. Each player is in an arena, inside which Bowser will throw several dice blocks every turn. The players must pick them up and throw them, as many times as necessary, hoping to have as many as possible show their face on the upward side. After 5 seconds, the blocks will turn into energy blasts, which will damage Bowser, and each gives 1 point to the player whose face was on the upward side of that block. The player with the most points when Bowser is out of health wins. Again, this is a boss battle, so it's not as simple as this. Bowser's face is on the blocks as well, and any that land on his will allow him to attack the players, taking 1 point from anyone done so successfully. Also, when he's down to half health, he'll get pissed off, and every other turn throw a big dice block, with each side showing every major boss in the game, who can also attack the players and take points from them. This minigame is extremely fun, with a clever and epic concept, and that sounds about right for the final boss battle. I know it's a little bit luck-based, but no matter what, Bowser's Block Battle blocks everything from 8th place. Coming in at 7th place is Free-for-all Peak Precision. Each player is climbing a hill that has several Wii Remote buttons on it. The players must press each one in order as fast as possible until they precisely reach the peak. The first player to do so is the winner of the minigame. However, while speed is important, it's also important to not go too fast, since pushing the wrong button costs players time. Sorry, that's all there is to this minigame. I like this one because I just like pushing buttons when playing video games, and this minigame is perfect for people like that. It also keeps you focused and is just plain fun without that good a concept. But despite that one minor flaw, Peak Precision is precise enough to earn 7th place. Sixth place is Free-for-all Skipping Class. Each player is jump roping and must perform tricks by pushing certain buttons in order. Doing so successfully gives points, and the player with the most points after 8 rounds is the winner. It's not quite as simple as that, however. If players push the buttons too slowly, they won't get as many points as they would if they did so quicker. Also, making just 1 mistake causes players to get no points for that round, so I advise against making mistakes, if possible. Once again, for some reason, I just find pushing buttons when playing video games is amusing, especially rapid fire button pushing. It's also just plain fun, again without that good a concept or that much thrill. But forget that. Skipping Class skips nothing and shows enough class for 6th place. 5th place is 1v3, line in the sand. The team players are on a beach, and the lone player's got a stick and must draw circles in the sand by aiming at the screen. Maybe there's a sea bear warning. Any team player standing in a circle when it forms is eliminated, and if at least one team player is still standing when time is up, the team wins. If not, the lone player wins. Sorry, that's all there is to gameplay. Not quite sure why, but I just get a real kick out of aiming and drawing circles around opponents. Yes, I prefer to be the lone player, although I don't mind being a team player either. It's also just plain fun and somewhat thrilling with a decent concept. Line in the sand is all lined up for 5th place. Or maybe it's just scared of those dang sea bears. Fourth place is free-for-all bomb barge. Each player is on a barge with several bombs falling onto the barge with them. For some reason. The players must run into them to knock them away, since when it explodes, if they're in the blast radius, they'll get knocked back, possibly into the poison water. Any player this happens to is eliminated, while any player still on the barge when time expires wins the minigame. Again, players can run into bombs to knock them somewhere else, but unless they want to take a bath in poison water, they'd better be quick about it. They can also jump to avoid explosions and mess with opponents. This minigame is very fun and thrilling, and the concept is pretty epic. That's exactly why Bomb Barge barges right into 4th place. Third place goes to free-for-all Sky Jinx. All 4 players are running across a track in the sky, with several rotating platforms and cloud trampolines. Players can get through the course by running and jumping, and must do so carefully to avoid falling. However, they do have 3 lives, but that just means they can only fall twice. Falling 3 times results in elimination, and the first player to reach the finish line is the winner. Additionally, the screen scrolls, so players must keep up with it. However, it does scroll pretty slowly, so it's not that hard to do. This minigame is extremely fun and a little bit thrilling, and the concept is pretty clever. Also, I've always loved racing games, ABC duh. For all those reasons, if you try to take 3rd place away from Sky Jinx, it'll jinx you. Running up is free-for-all Polar Extreme. The players are on a river with many glaciers, and must jump across them to reach the boat at the end. The first player to reach said boat is the winner. No, that's not all there is to this minigame, there's more. You know, ice, so lack of traction. Also, if players do fall in the water, they can jump back up, but they must do so quickly, since staying in the water too long eliminates them. Also again, some glaciers have penguins, and will, yet again, also either sink or break apart when stepped on, making things much harder for the players. This minigame is extremely fun and thrilling, with a pretty clever concept, and again, racing games. Ah, how I love them so. The same applies for Polar Extreme. I love it so, and it extremely loves 2nd place so. Honorable mention party. 15th place is free-for-all Toad and Go Seek. The players are in a small village with numerous Toad houses. Toad will run into one of them, and the first player to knock on that house's door wins. This one is just fun and kind of cute, and is even more fun when you know the area by heart, and the concept's okay. 14th place is 1v3 Hull Hogs. The team players are underground, and must pop their heads out of Monty Mole holes, while the lone player must hit them with a hammer. Failing to do so gives the team 1 point, and if the team scores 10 points before time expires, they win. If not, the lone player wins. This one is quite thrilling, with a both original and funny concept. 13th place is free-for-all Jigsaw Jumble. Each player will be shown 5 almost complete puzzles, and must complete them by dragging the correct pieces onto them. The first player to complete all 5 puzzles wins. This one is good not for the concept, but because it is just plain fun, and forces players to pay attention, thus also making it thrilling. 12th place is Boss Battle King Boo's Puzzle Attack. There are several Mario series items, which the players must rearrange to line up 3 of the same one, which will both give points and cause King Boo damage. The player with the most points when King Boo is defeated wins. I like puzzle games, and this one is very fun and not very thrilling for a boss battle, but has a completely epic concept. Last but not least, 11th place is free-for-all Goomba Spotting. The players are watching several Goombas walk or run across a field, and must press the A button for each one that does so. Any player to get the amount of Goombas correct, or if no one gets it right, whoever comes the closest, will win. This one is just fun, and again, forces you to pay attention, which I've always liked in Mario Party minigames. Finally, number 1. It's a 2v2, about dang time, and is playable in extra mode. That's right, it's none other than Shell Soccer. Each team is playing soccer with a Koopa shell, hence the name, and must kick it into the other team's, no, not goal, Goombas. The first team to knock away all of their opponent's Goombas wins the minigame. As soccer goes, players can pass the shell to their teammate, as well as steal it from opponents. Also, when a player is about to kick the shell, there will be a moving arrow, which allows them to aim the kick and possibly even knock away several Goombas at once. I do just have one complaint with this minigame. The field is a bit too small, and therefore, it can sometimes be a bit hard to get enough room to score goals. I could also see it being more fun with more than just 4 players. But forget about that. This minigame is extremely fun and thrilling, and the concept is pretty clever, what with using the Koopa shell instead of the traditional soccer ball. With all that, it should come as no surprise. Shell Soccer is easily my number 1 favorite Mario Party 9 minigame of all time. So there you have it, my top 10 favorite Mario Party 9 minigames of all time. For more videos like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, please check out my social media. All links are in the description. Thanks a bunch for watching, guys. See you next time. Mikoro Glyscore 472, out.